Hey guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I want to talk about a story that, in fact, let me just say it like this. Let me start like this. We're starting to see a rise in police shootings and people losing their lives due to having mental health crisis, and where police are being called out and these people are being shot. Now, a lot of people, you know, it's up for debate on how the police need to respond to these type of things, but any type of act of aggression is going to be met with any type of police force. We know this. A lot of it has to do with, you know, the information that's being relayed over the phone a lot of times, which is up for debate, or just the amount of officers that come, or just the procedure of dealing with it. I don't know any different way of how to deal with a lot of threats, especially when it's threats on the officers' lives and stuff like that. But I want to talk about a story today that happened July 28th on a Sunday evening involving this woman right here. This lady is 25-year-old Victoria Lee, and she sadly lost her life because she was going through a mental health crisis. And, you know, her family called, and a lot of this stuff is up in the air with me, and she wound up losing her life. Now, the Asian community that's involved in this situation, a lot of them have a disagreement with how the police handled this or what steps should have been taken and all of this stuff. I'm gonna show you a couple of videos, news articles, and you judge for yourself. And leave me a comment in the comment section of how you think this could have been handled differently, or is there even a way possibly to handle it, and what you saw in the video. Was I'm going to give you my account of what I saw and just my opinion on it. Without further ado, take a look.
Police body cam video now revealing how a family's call for help turned deadly for a woman in New Jersey.
We don't want to shoot you. We want to talk to you.
We're going to break the door down, ma'am.
After that door opened, an officer opened fire, shooting 25-year-old Victoria Lee in the chest.
Police went to her apartment in Fort Lee last month in a response to a mental health crisis call.
Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim live in the newsroom with a breaking video. And Stefan, what does it reveal?
Well, Mike and Sade, it was a police response to a woman experiencing a mental health episode, as you mentioned. The woman's family wanted help getting her to a hospital. Instead, it ended with police shooting and killing her. Her family and community members say she was not a threat to anyone and have been demanding accountability.
Man, back off. Open the door. Drop the weapon.
We're going to break the door.
It was a Sunday evening in July. Police were called to an apartment building in Fort Lee where Victoria Lee was locked in an apartment. The 25-year-old had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and was having a medical episode. It was her brother who called 911.
She has a knife with her, that's why, like, right now.
What does she have?
She has a knife with her.
She has a knife with her?
Yeah.
And she's still in the apartment?
Yeah.
With officers standing outside her door, you can hear Lee at one point threaten them if they enter the apartment.
Go ahead, I'll stab you in the neck.
Less than a minute later, the officer breaks down the door.
Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
Family members claim Lee had dropped the knife by the time officers had entered the apartment, and for weeks they've asked for a chance to watch this video. We are told they did today, and while they're not ready to speak, community activists say police did little to de-escalate the situation.
I know the brother shared in the 911 call that she was holding a knife. She wasn't threatening anyone. It was very small. It was a foldable knife. I don't understand how the distance between the police officer who fired and Victoria, they never seemed close enough even for her to be any kind of threat to him.
And that is one of several questions we'll address at 11 o'clock tonight with a law enforcement expert. In that video, by the way, you can see her, as her family has claimed, Victoria Lee was holding a water jug. Back to you guys.
Tonight, the New Jersey AG's office releasing body cam footage showing the police-involved shooting that killed 25-year-old Victoria Lee inside an apartment in Fort Lee. And we want to warn you that the footage is disturbing to watch. Fox 6's Duarte Geraldino is live in Fort Lee with the very latest. Duarte.
Natasha, here in Fort Lee, there are a lot of people who are relieved that this body cam footage is finally out, but everyone who has seen it is just shaken by it. And I want to warn everyone again that this footage is extremely disturbing.
She's having a mental crisis, so we want to send her to the hospital.
Through 911 calls and body cam footage, we're getting a window into the final moments of Victoria Lee's life. Her brother seeking help, but asking the 911 operator not to send officers.
Just the ambulance is fine,
It's a mental health. We have to send officers also.
Oh, okay.
A second 911 call. Lee's brother tries to cancel the ambulance. He says his sister's holding a foldable knife.
She's not threatening anybody with it, though, correct?
No, not at the moment.
It's 1:25 a.m. on July 28th. As the tensions rise, you can see her brother answering the door.
Who's dealing with this? Who has that knife? Who's dealing with the mental health crisis? Who's having a nervous breakdown right now? Who's the problem? Your sister or you? My sister.
Amber Reed is the executive director of New Jersey's largest Asian American and Pacific Islander advocacy group. She fears race and gender may have influenced the officer's response.
I think anytime this happens, you have to wonder if the police had seen someone who looked like their brother, their sister, their mother, is this how they would have treated them?
As the video continues, you see the apartment door open. 25-year-old Victoria Lee, her mother yelling at the officers, "Go away," and then...
I want to break the door down.
Go ahead, I'll stab you in your neck.
We're going to break the door.
The officer screams, "Drop the knife," a gunshot. Victoria Lee's on the floor. The mother screaming. Lee was rushed to the hospital where she was pronounced dead 33 minutes after police arrived to check on her mental health.
I don't want this to stop Asian Americans from seeking mental health care. And I know a lot of Asian Americans will be needing it more than ever as they reflect on this incident and what it means to be Asian in America.
And AAPI is offering free resources for mental health services for members of the Asian American community. And in the meantime, the New Jersey Attorney General's office is investigating this case. In Fort Lee, Duarte Geraldino, Fox 5 News.
I was having mic difficulties in the beginning. I apologize about that. The plug popped out while I was talking. You seen footage? They were talking about different things. Some people say she had a water bottle in her hand. At the end, I don't know, but the bottom line is this. This is how I look at this whole situation. Number one, I couldn't be no police officer, and this is one of the reasons why. Not for what happened, but did you hear what the lawyer said? Try to make it a race thing. That's the thing. You can't even do your job. And then another thing is, it's a human being in a uniform, regardless if it's a cop or not. Don't nobody want to get stabbed by somebody that's out of their mind. They don't. And a lot of times in a split second, you got to make executive decisions. And depending on how it goes, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to pull the trigger on people, whether people like it or not. Now, I don't know if the woman had the knife in her hand because cameras all over the damn place, but I do notice this. Somebody called, the brother. He called. Hey, we want to get her to the hospital. Call the police. Okay? Police is coming. Then he changed his mind. Oh, we just need an ambulance. She walking around with a knife. He's being descriptive. Anytime you are being descriptive and you're talking to people, that 911 person, they're sending this stuff via almost like a text message to these officers. So they know what they're running into for their protection and the protection of the person that's out there. We've seen this a lot. We've seen this a lot. People lose their mind, threaten the police, and then get shot. I'm being honest with you. If I'm a cop, I'm not going to let nobody stab me, punch me in my face, or do something crazy after threatening me. She threatened to stab him. Now, regardless, she's off her mind, out of her mind. The mom was there and couldn't stop her. Mom was trying to pull her back. She was aggressive towards them. They had a shield, right? You heard the lawyer, oh, she wasn't nowhere near him. But the guy that has the shield was there. She could have reached around or whatever, stabbed him. It don't matter. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Now, they said you can't just have an ambulance come. Got to have the police. Now, say the ambulance came. She locked him out the damn door. He out there with them. Then he talking all mumbled voice and nonchalant. You see all them police on Mars, you better give the description of how she is and what. This whole thing, man, is crazy. It's crazy. Then on top of this, what if the ambulance did come? The police gonna come with them anyway. That's a normal thing. EMTs are not gonna come to a hostile situation without police. They would have came, pulled up outside, and just waited for a police escort up the steps. So either way, the police was gonna have to be involved. They giving a command, stop, put the knife down, this and that, not listening. Police officer is not a mental health professional. They gotta make sure everybody's is protected, including themselves and other people. What if she had snapped out and stabbed her mom because her mom was holding her and wouldn't let her out and they shot her? I think it would have been the same thing. Y'all didn't have to shoot her. That's the thing. A lot of people that you see complaining a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, about what a man need to do and not do, a lot of times it be women. So I'm just keeping it real, be women. Oh, you ain't had to do this, you ain't had to do that. Yeah, well, you're not in a position where you had to go in there and somebody threatening you. Men deal with things a certain way. We do. We direct, hey, stop, can't stop, boom, this is what happened. I don't like the thing where the lady tried to make it like a race thing, the lawyer. Oh. If somebody looked like them and it was their mother or sister, what would they do? Oh, they'd stand there and get stabbed because they're the same color as them or nationality. Sounds stupid. Sounds stupid. For real. A cop is not a mental health professional. Not all cops are trained on crisis management like a hostage negotiator and have tactics and stuff. These people arrive on the scene and try to quell whatever's going on as soon as possible. She was aggressive towards them. They blasted her. Hell, you see this all the time in other videos. Nobody say nothing. All of a sudden it's race again. Come on, man. Come on. So what we need to do, have Asian cops come and deal with Asian people, black cops deal with black people, white cops deal with white people, Hispanics deal with Hispanic. Come on. Come on. Makes no sense. It's always somebody that says what needs to be done after something's done already. See, you could always look at something and say, well, they could have done this instead of that. I saw the video. Okay. But when you in it and you don't know which way it's going to end and things happen, it's easy to say what somebody should and should not it did, especially when your life is not threatened and you're just looking at it like the rest of us. See what they said? The family demanded to see the video. They showed them the whole video. What did the family do? No comment. Backed off. We didn't see the whole video. We just saw snippets of what that thing was. I got to see the whole video and then I can make a judgment call. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I don't know who's right or who's wrong. But I know this. I'm not going to let nobody stab me. So, I mean, I can sympathize with them. They had to get a shield. Evidently, it was some type of seriousness where they had to have shields in trying to get her out. It wasn't like they knocked on the door, had a shield, boom, busted in, shot her. No. For them to go and get that shield, there had to be a lot of going back and forth. And she wasn't complying. And things are what they are. Just my opinion, man. It's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? 25-year-old woman gone. But I mean, come on. Come on. Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.